We love you, Trey, and we stand for you.
Trey was only going. He went to Delta for his girl, and plus he wanted to go to school. But he mainly went for his girl. That's cool, you know. Another thing, when Trey was in college, he didn't have his car. Not because could nobody afford it.
Trevian's family told me this was his first year at Delta State University, and he was excited to start a new chapter. But now his family says they're getting conflicting information from local authorities, and they want answers about the final moments of his life. Jones says just days before his death, Reed came home for Grenada Day and was full of joy and life.
Friend, look out, they're not ready to.
Yeah.
That you heard. Break all the students in the university who are hurt before were shot.
And we won't point the finger that someone's trying to control the narrative here, because technology and cameras will answer all the questions.
Reed's mother was in attendance and was too devastated and heartbroken to speak about her beloved son.
Come together, we got to be together. There's too much narratives going on the internet about what happened and this, that, and the other. When there's not enough, people saying, hey, so we just got to come together and make something happen.
First question that comes out is, how was the statement foul play has been ruled out so soon when you just said a preliminary coroner's report hasn't even been ruled?
Take me to the King. I don't have much to bring. My heart is torn in pieces.
If you haven't done so already, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you appreciate my coverage. Also, drop a comment and let me know what are your thoughts about this case. Now, before we get started on today's video, I do want to play a clip from an alleged friend that made the video to correct the misinformation that have been going around. But keep in mind that this information has not been confirmed by authorities. Now, I also want to go over the statement from the president of the African American Student Council. He's a student at the university, Delta University, and what he says is that he saw Trey Reed on September the 14th, just hours before the tragedy, having a heated discussion on the phone. What he says is that I woke up that morning and he had heard about Trey being found, and then he recalled seeing him. He said that he and his roommate were heading out for food when he saw Trey sitting in front of the hall by himself on the phone. He inquired with him if he was okay, and he recalled he looked up at me and then just looked down at his phone and didn't say anything. I didn't really press him if he didn't want to talk. Now, when he returned from getting the food with the roommate, he said that they saw Trey again at a distance. He could recall that Trey was real upset. He was making gestures and was acting like he was throwing stuff. He would kick the wall and then he stormed out towards the hall. He was just out of it. Now, keep in mind that who he was on the phone with, if he was on the phone, none of that has been confirmed by authorities. But
Trey allegedly got into an argument. They said that he got into an argument. Trey done got the fight. Trey had to whoop that boy ass. Who that'll whoop a boy ass and then wait and then jump him? That don't make sense. So Trey had to whoop that boy ass, whoever came and fucked with him. Whoever came and tried and started an argument with him. He had to whoop that boy ass. Trey posted on his private story on Snap that I seen at 1 yesterday in the afternoon, 14 hours ago. So Trey was outside. If you take them hours back, Trey was outside around like 10, 11, 12, one of them. Why he out there, I don't know. So Trey ain't got his car, so he be walking. Why is he outside at that time? We don't know. I still don't know. He probably got into it with them people again. And they did that bullshit to him. The police is saying there ain't no reason them going back on them cameras because it's a blind spot, and plus they don't feel like doing that shit. I don't give no fuck what campus you on, cuz I know blind spots that shit do exist. But it's a camera that's on that blind spot that show who the fuck went over there. It don't go all the way back there, but it show who the fuck over there. Who the fuck went over there?
On Monday, September the 15th, 2025, in the small town of Cleveland, Mississippi, a chilling discovery was made on the campus of Delta State University. Now, right in the heart of the university grounds, the lifeless body of 21-year-old Trey Reed was found. That discovery would not only shock the local community, but would also spark a nationwide debate. What really happened to Trey Reed? Because his family would say that just days before his passing, he spent time with them, he seemed happy, and then he went back to the university. But you also have the student council president coming forward to say that just hours before Trey's body was discovered, he saw Trey involved in a heated argument. And then you have the authorities' perspective. Based on their preliminary investigation, at least from what the family is alleging, the authorities told them that they do not believe foul play was involved. Now, what supports that conclusion are text messages that Trey allegedly sent to his girlfriend, which we're going to get into that as well. Now, the medical examiner's office has officially ruled on Trey's cause of death, and we're going to get into that with the press conference, but his family has not accepted that conclusion. And not only is social media divided, but Trey's own family is divided as well. Because while some of his family members have said that Trey was emotional, others have said they believe foul play is involved. Now, please understand that with this video, I may substitute words or I may not fully elaborate on details to ensure that I respect YouTube's terms and conditions. Now, the picture you see before you is of Trey Reed's mother alongside the founder of the Building Bridge Coalition. The significance of this picture is important. This founder has been boots on the ground, going to the university, speaking with students, helping to build a memorial for Trey, and even having conversation with Trey's family members, Trey's roommate, and allegedly Trey's girlfriend. In doing his own investigation, he's uncovered some insight into how Trey's family members feel about his passing. I want to play this short clip where he sends a message directly to Trey's family. He isn't on camera, but he's at the memorial site. He's the one holding the phone and recording. So listen closely to this clip.
I'll say something real quick, man. We just want to, on behalf of all of us who agree with what y'all call the Panthers, we just want to give our love, our respect. Our only mission here is to do whatever you want to see done and stand behind you in full solidarity, whatever that looks like. Y'all tell us y'all in charge. We ain't in charge of nothing. We moving behind y'all, and we're going to continue to move behind y'all through this entire process. We love you, bro. Got you. Mm-hmm.
This is to the Tillman and Reed family. I don't want y'all to be torn. This is designed to tear you apart. I don't want y'all to be torn. It's okay if you know and your relationship with Trey was this, and you feel like he was sad or emotional. That's on you. That's cool. That's okay. For the family who wants to know and don't believe it and wants to know more, that's okay. All of this could be solved by showing the video. Neither one of you are wrong, and neither one of you should be bickering and fighting. I love you. I'm with you. There's nothing wrong with asking for answers in the current social climate. Okay, so the significance of that clip is that the founder, of course, as I said, he's been boots on the ground. He's been speaking with both sides of Trey Reed's family, his father's side and his mother's side. Now, his mother's side is the Reed side, and his father's side is the Tillman side. He didn't identify which side may be feeling like Trey was sad and emotional, but instead what he said to both sides is, do not allow this to divide you. It is okay if your relationship with Trey, if you thought that he was sad and emotional, and it's okay if you don't believe that Trey would have taken his own life, and that there are additional answers that you need. It's okay to feel that way. So what are your thoughts about this? Now, of course, Trey Reed's mother has been reposting things from the founder. He did go down. He took photos with it, which I showed you that. But here is a post that he made, and he said,
You know what really bothers me about Trey Reed's case? The people who say they saw him the day his life was taken, a naturally quiet person looking visibly upset, zoned out, are deep in thought. And afterward, they claim so certain he must have been thinking about taking his life. Started a whole baseless narrative that essentially stopped his justice. But nobody called his family. Nobody called emergency services. Nobody reported it to the school. Whether he was being attacked or not, the fact is nobody helped. Nobody valued his life enough to step in, and that's the real problem. Justice for Trey Reed, no justice, no peace. So there was another post that was made by Trey's aunt, and she said, the Reed and Tillman family would like to express their heartfelt gratitude to all volunteers in the Social Community Club for their support in a challenging time. Please continue to keep Trey's family lifted in prayer. So the significance of me showing this to you was so that you can see that the family, of course, acknowledges that it's the Reed and Tillman family, as you heard in that clip. And she, the same aunt, she made another post and she said, the family doesn't know what happened. Please refrain from inquiring with them, wanting to know what happened. Just keep the family in your prayers. And she made another post and she said, when I say I've been lost for words, I mean exactly that. My thoughts and mind been wondering and trying to piece together what could have happened. I literally watched Trey and his sister grow up. I remember when I used to blow that house phone up. Trey and his sister would say, Uncle Mook, it's that girl calling again. This is really hard to believe. God give us strength, peace, and understanding. I know your uncles have welcomed you with open arms. And then there was another family member who made a post and she said, this is the hardest thing to post on Facebook, knowing how messed up people in this world are. To post up so quickly before the family to say or do anything. Y'all pray for Reed family and also his dad side of the family too. Justice for Trey Reed. So again, his family is saying they don't know what happened. They're still seeking answers. Well, at least his mother's side of the family, right? These are posts from them and they're saying, but keep the father side of the family in their prayer, in your prayers as well, because they do not know what happened.
I would want complete transparency. I wouldn't want to take the word of anybody who comes out day one and says, well, there's no foul play involved. Well, how can you rush to a conclusion that quickly? And so we are going to have an independent autopsy that Colin Kaepernick, Know Your Rights Autopsy Initiative, is going to help have done.
I don't have much of an opinion on the autopsy. I'd like to think that they aren't lying, but considering the history of Mississippi, it's hard to be sure.
I think they need to do their own investigating.
The family has now retained civil rights attorney Ben Crump. Now, what isn't clear at this point is the role of the previous attorney, because reports say Ben has stepped in, but it's not yet known if the other attorney will remain involved, if she's representing the mom's side, the dad's side, or if Ben will completely take the lead and she will not be involved. Because I am going to play a clip from her later in this video, so you'll get to hear, because it was the press conference that she held. But I do want you to listen closely to this next clip of Trey's grandfather, because you recall in this clip that I just played for you where they said Trey's body was discovered on the campus. Now, this is where things start to cause a division between the family and the authorities, because they are saying that they are receiving conflicting information. So I want you to listen to his grandfather in this next clip. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to like the video, drop a comment, and let me know what are your thoughts after you hear what his grandfather has to say. Immediately after that, I'll play the clip from his aunt. Now,
he told me that they found Trey Reed in his room.
Crump is also demanding that they are shown a video of what led to Trey's death.
You keep telling us what to believe, but you're not showing us any evidence, showing us any video.
Alexis Reed says this was all to make sure the life and legacy of her nephew is not forgotten.
We wanted everyone here in Grenada, his hometown, to come together to show love, to show, to let people know we have not forgotten Trey and we are fighting for Trey. I want them to take that candlelight and the balloon release to see that Trey was well loved by family and friends, by the church community.
Reed. And we just want to thank the community for their thoughts and for their prayers. As you all know, that this is a very difficult time for us. We ask again that you continue to lift us up in your prayers. And this is so heartbreaking for us. Anyone could imagine just going through this terrible time right now. But again, this is continually difficult time for us. And we just ask that you continue just to lift us up in your prayers. We thank you. And God bless each and every one of you.
It's been a long time coming, but I know change will come. Oh, yes it will.
Okay, so now we're going to get into Trey Reed's background and some of his social media posts. Now, freshman year at Delta State University should have been an exciting time for Trey Reed. He had just started as a computer science major, and his girlfriend, who he had been dating before his freshman year, had also committed to transfer in as part of the 2025 through 2026 cheerleading squad. Trey was looking forward to starting his college experience alongside her. And on August the 20th, 2025, Trey took to social media to mark the moment. He shared a post celebrating his very first day as a freshman at Delta State, writing "Lesson Learned" with the hashtags Delta State University and first day of school. But less than a month later, on September the 15th, Trey would be found dead. Now, at the center of his death are alleged text messages that Trey sent from his phone to hers. Now, in the aftermath, some of Trey's family members have spoken out to the coalition and said that Trey had been sad and emotional, as you heard in the beginning. But now, with the ruling of no foul play, some relatives may have already accepted that conclusion, while others remain unsettled and believe there's more to the story. So now we're going to go ahead and take a closer look at Trey's multiple social media accounts prior to his passing. But before we do that, I want to go over this post from the founder, as I identified him from earlier. Now, keep in mind that the post that I'm going to read parts of, investigators have not confirmed any of this. In fact, at this point, investigators have said that there is no foul play. So the significance of this post is that, again, he went to the dorm. He also spoke with some of Trey's family members, the roommate, allegedly the girlfriend. So he has information based from those multiple sources, and this is what he is putting out that has not been confirmed by authorities. Now, the narrative in the Trey Reed's case come from one direct and one cryptic message. Once again, please do not get mad at me. I am not trying to convince anyone of anything. I'm not even running with a narrative. So this is what he says in the post. He said you can fact check him if you need to. He also says that he is no expert, just independent research. But for Trey to request for his girlfriend to allow him to sleep in her car, to him suggests that something was going on. I can only think from a man's perspective. And when I was Trey's age of 21, I probably would be sitting there thinking about a fight all day long, thinking if someone threatened me and how I'm going to respond and how I'm going to protect myself. Why do we just automatically assume that he didn't want to live? So apparently Trey had inquired with his girlfriend if she would allow him to sleep in her car. Again, that has not been confirmed by authorities, but this is what he was able to confirm. And again, I repeat, there is no footage. The campus, the school, the police, and the coroner lied. There is no footage, camera footage that shows Trey Reed at all. The only footage is of him sitting in front of his girlfriend's dorm. These are the facts. You draw your own opinions and reach your own conclusion. We have confirmed through social media posts, roommates' accounts, friends, and people on campus that there was some form of an altercation over comments that were made, and Trey was potentially protecting a female behind standing up for her, saying a fight was supposed to take place. Was that person potentially a threat to him? Was he in the same dorm? Was he seeking to sleep in his girlfriend's car? Was this the reason why he was seeking to sleep in his girlfriend's car? Excuse me. Why didn't he want to go to sleep in his dorm room? Was he seeking his legally owned weapon for protection out of her car? All honest and good questions that deserve to be answered. I apologize, but those that witnessed were not shown a timestamp. I would love to have a timestamp for y'all on the messages to paint a clearer picture, but I just simply do not. Maybe his girlfriend would provide and paint a clearer picture when God grants her strength, courage, wisdom, and a clear voice and viewpoint of all events of essentially the worst day of her life. Now, photos of text messages. One direct message from Trey Reed's phone. Also, keep in mind, he did not upload any photos of the text message. He said that he has it. It was provided to him. But one direct message from Trey Reed's phone, to his girlfriend. And I quote, "I no longer want to be on earth." Clearly, something was going on, right? This is something told to investigators. Trey and his girlfriend would say to each other all the time. This is what I was told from close sources that will not be revealed at this time. So apparently he's saying that Trey and his girlfriend would say, "I no longer want to be on earth," between the two of them, and it wasn't taken to be serious. That was just something that they would say. Again, the girlfriend would clear up any mistakes and misinformation that I received and reported, or misinterpreted information when she chooses to speak. I won't reveal my sources' identities, but I will reveal the pool in which they come. Family, friends, students, and DSU faculty and staff. Roommate whose identity was already known on campus, but whose picture nor name will I post. This is where every single detail and information was collected, shared, and compiled from. Cryptic message, and I quote, "It broke." From Trey Reed's phone to his girlfriend. Now we've arrived at the critical fact and a lack of evidence, and just really, for a lack of better words, a quite weird and strange detail in this case. So where did this come from? He goes on to say that there was no note, only two text messages, one direct, one cryptic. He walks towards the pickleball court and is never seen alive again. Found in his pocket an old love letter from his girlfriend and another cryptic set of 4 numbers written on a piece of paper, which I won't reveal for the integrity of an ongoing investigation. These are just the honest to God facts. You do with them as you will. For me and my house, we are going to serve the Lord and continue fighting for equal protection, transparency, and justice for our people. And that includes Trey Reed. At the very least, I hope everyone reasonable can agree that it needs to be thoroughly investigated and investigated properly. You can tell me something that you can't visibly show me. But tell me to believe it based off 2 text messages and his demeanor that they've been upset or in deep thought, described as zoned out. But when asked, Trey never shared what was wrong. Was it an external threat or depression leading to something? I just am not buying what they are selling. So this is the post that he posted. Also keep in mind that Trey Reed family member, who he did not identify, allegedly told him that Trey was emotional and sad. So now we're going to get into the post And I want you to keep all of this in
NAACP
mind.
released a statement on the death of Trey Reed, saying while initial reports offered no evidence of foul play, you'd have to excuse our skepticism amidst growing racially motivated violence targeted at our communities across the country. While we wait for more formal autopsy reports and information, we offer this piece of history with a level of certainty our people have not historically hung ourselves from trees.
Now, when it comes to Trey Reed's social media account, most of his statuses were simply reposts. So he was sharing statuses that was made by someone else. Many of the reposts that he shared were about relationships, which we're also going to go through. With some of his family feeling that he was emotional and sad, combined with authorities allegedly telling them that the text messages Trey sent to his girlfriend supported their conclusion that there was no foul play, it makes his online presence even more significant. So we're going to take a look at Trey's social media posts leading up to his final day. It's important to note that authorities have not publicly confirmed the exact content of those messages. So outside of what the family has shared, allegedly, those details remain unverified. Trey's last post came on September the 12th, 2025, just 3 days before his body was discovered on campus on September the 15th. That post has caught the attention of the public with speculations and rumors running wild, but it's also important to be clear, no one has confirmed what Trey may have been emotional or sad about. The post that he shared read, and it was a repost, and it said, being able to read people is half the reason I be on my own. So prior to this post, and this was his very last post on his account, but prior to this, Trey had shared on another social media account that he had, and he shared a video, but he had an album dedicated to his relationship, and it was titled My Whole Heart, and it was dated May the 11th, 2024. Now, he also made a status on May the 23rd, 2024. He said, I pray for my relationship because I love who I got. Now, his aunt, the one who spoke on the news, she has been doing posts and kind of been the family spokesperson. She replied to that status and she left a comment and she said, oh, nephew, there will be good and bad days. Keep praying and God will work everything out. Make sure you pay attention to these statuses because the family is saying that he was sad and emotional, and people are saying that if you look on his social media account that the signs were there. So let's look at his 2024 post. August the 25th of 2024, he reshared a status and it said, when I was losing, I was still smiling. I knew I was going to get it back. Same day, reshared another status and said, see how I let God handle it? Very patient, very faithful, and very humble. Now, June the 4th, 2024, this is when he turned 20 last year. And he said, thanks for all the birthday wishes. Now, fast forward, November the 26th of 2024, power of the tongue, I speak nothing but greatness over my life. November the 6th, 2024, this status here, it said, no one knows how much I went through this year, but I stayed strong and didn't quit. Now, April the 8th, now we're in the current year of 2025, he said, and pay attention to this year's statuses. And these are, of course, he was resharing them, right? And he said, every single day you got to pray and keep going. Then Trey reshared a status April the 8th. He said, I'm happier than I used to be, and that's all I've ever wanted from life. So this was on April the 8th, before he even started school. April the 20th, he he actually made a status with him and his girlfriend. He said, he is risen. This Easter, we celebrate the beautiful promise of new beginnings, eternal hope, and the light of love that shines through the darkest moments. Grateful to walk this journey of faith and life with my love by my side. May this season bring peace to your soul and joy to your heart. Happy Easter from us to you. And then he shared photos of him and his girlfriend. So that was on April the 20th. Now on August the 18th, fast forward, he reshared this status and it said to all college students, if God got us to college, he'll get us through college. August the 19th, I believe everything someone say out of anger. You've been felt like that. Pay attention to the progression with these statuses. August the 19th might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but one day everything gonna be all right. August the 19th, same day. On this day, he was resharing a lot of statuses. The heart I got might kill me one day. I've been picking myself up since I was a kid. I promise I'm going to be all right. If you ever catch me staring at the sky, just give me a minute. And this was another reshare on August the 19th. Always be sure to say I love you. You never know when it's your last. Now, all of those statuses were reshared one day before he started school, because he started his freshman year at this university, and it was on August the 20th, and he made a status and he said, and of course I showed this, he said, lesson learned, Delta State University, first day of school. And his sister, she commented there and she said, words can't express how proud I am of you. If you're going to do great things, my baby. Now, this was on August the 20th. He reshared a status. I got so much faith in me. I know I'm going to win. I know I'm going to win. August the 24th. I hope someone is proud of me because I'm really trying. Okay, now pay attention to these statuses, because these statuses were made on his social media account 22 days before his body was found. It says, the truth is, I don't have the patience anymore. Not for the silence, not for the late replies, the unread messages, the sorry I was busy texts that come hours later like afterthoughts. I don't have the patience for almost love, for the ones who swear they care but forget how to show it, for the ones who only love me when it's easy. I've been hurt too quietly for too long, and I just can't anymore. This heart has waited in too many empty rooms. Now it's learning how to close the door. I've been hurt too quietly for too long. Same day, August the 25th. Sometimes it hits you hard. They never really loved you. They just knew you were the one who would always be there no matter what. You had a good heart and they used it. They stayed not because they truly cared, but because you made life easier for them. And deep down, you kept hoping it was love. But when you needed someone the way they needed you, they were not there. They left you empty, making you feel like a good person was your biggest mistake. That's the kind of pain that changes you forever. Same day, August the 25th, he reshared this one. I gave everything I had, every part of me that could love, care, and stay. But it was never enough. And then I watched others receive the same love I begged for without even asking. It breaks something inside you, makes you question your worth, makes you wonder if maybe the problem was always you. And that thought, it quietly destroys you. Now pay attention to this one. She lies, he cries. She apologizes, she's not sorry. He complains, she doesn't change, and yet he stays. Does that sound familiar? Now, all of these statuses were reshared on his account 22 days prior to his body being discovered. Of course, you have his family split, as I said, with saying that he has been emotional and he has been sad. What are your thoughts after going through his social media? Okay, now Trey Reed's girlfriend, when news broke that his body had been found, she did initially make a post on social media. And what she said was, words can't express how I feel. I miss you so much but I know God has a better plan for you. And I'm so grateful that God placed you in my life, and I don't know what I'm going to do without you. This is a huge pill to swallow, and I will hope one day I see you again. Now, again, she has deactivated her social media account. The text messages that the family members or whoever spoke with the founder and what the post that he put, those text messages, again, have not been confirmed by authorities as far as if Trey Reed did indeed text her, if he had an old love letter from her in his pocket. So I do want you guys to listen to this press conference. Drop your comments. Let me know, what are your thoughts about this? You know, you have one side of the family saying he was emotional, he was sad, allegedly, And you have his social media posts. Now you have the girlfriend that made a Facebook post and she subsequently took it down, she subsequently deactivated her account and she hasn't spoken out since then. It is currently still an active investigation that has been turned over to the FBI. His family has retained Ben Crump. I'm going to play a clip from him as well. So listen to this.
And I will say before I pass the mic, Trey Reed was definitely one of the best students that I ever had the privilege of teaching, and one of the few I never had to get on to. So you all raised a brilliant young man, so God bless y'all.
Amen. Here to speculate. We're not out here to assume. We're not out here to guess or cause any trouble. We're out here to simply say, show the family, give them transparency, and show them what happened to this dear brother. This dear brother, that's all we ask. That's all we requested, and that is by the request of his mother. Shout out to Tank and all the family members that reached out to me personally. This is not a time for speculation. This is not a time for guess. I've been telling people all week, this is designed to tear you apart. I don't want y'all to be torn. It's okay if you know and your relationship with Trey was this and you feel like he was sad or emotional. That's on you. That's cool. That's okay. For the family who wants to know and don't believe it and wants to know more, that's okay. All of this could be solved by showing the video. Neither one of you are wrong, and neither one of you should be bickering and fighting. I love you.
This is an isolated incident. Due to the support of the state and local law enforcement and the increased law enforcement presence here at Delta State, there are currently no active threats to the campus, and the university remains a safe environment for students, faculty, and staff. Delta State Police, in conjunction with the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, Bolivar County Sheriff's Office, and Cleveland Police Department, plans to provide another update once preliminary findings are released and the university officials have met privately with the next of kin. Out of respect for those grieving, we ask for continued patience and compassion as this investigation proceeds. Again, we extend our deepest condolences to those impacted by this tragedy. Support services remain available for anyone in need of assistance. And again, this deeply saddens us. He's one of ours.
But I have faith that our students will model the better angels that we all should have.
A follow-up on this question, specifically, has there been recent incidents of racial tension on campus?
Not that I'm aware of.
Reed's family has retained a lawyer. They said they wanted to launch an independent investigation. Do you be willing to cooperate with that?
Delta State will cooperate with any investigation related to this incident. But I reiterate that our duty is to engage with the next of kin when it comes to who I speak to and what information I give and what questions I answer.
So are those next of kin, are they family members, those two individuals that you all have been speaking with?
Yeah, the individuals that Trey chose as his emergency contacts and next of kin, they can decide if they want to be public. I will not make them public because that's their choice and their privacy.
I have a question for Chief Martin Stump, again, Fox 13 Memphis. So if the autopsy is underway, it sounded like as we speak, when will that body be available for the independent autopsy that the family announced? And they're asking for that announcement coming yesterday. Again, as soon as we receive we expect in the next 24 to 48 hours, we'll have the results. I'm not sure at this time when that will be available to the family or the public. At this time, I don't have that information.
Will that be the preliminary? Will that be, you said that will be the preliminary?
Preliminary, yes, sir.
How long will it take to get the definitive result of the autopsy?
Don't have that information.
And Chief, we know the body was found Monday morning. Do we know when the hanging took place? Was it sometime Sunday? And we know
That's still being investigated right now.
I have one more question for the president. Sir, I'm sorry I didn't catch your name. My
name is Dan Ennis, E-N-N-I-S.
Thank you.
It rhymes with tennis, not other words.
I feel your emotion. How are the other students handling it? What counseling services are being given to the rest of the student body here, for, especially among the friends of Trey?
I want to give credit and thanks to our entire student support services. That includes our student affairs, our counselors, our coaches, our faculty. Basically, any person on this campus who works at Delta State has opened themselves up to students, formally and officially and professionally, for our counseling services center. And our counselors, of course, were on duty. They're always on duty, but they've been on extra duty. But then, of course, some students reach out to their coach, or they reach out to a professor, and we have had frequent communication about being sensitive and directing students to professional help. And I think that's one of the things that we will never, ever get perfect, but universities always try to be more perfect at, which is connecting students with counseling and professional help when they need it. And we know, I'm talking in general terms about college students now, I'm not speaking to this case, we know that students walk around with invisible burdens, and when they even become a bit visible, we have to give them someone to talk to. I also want to thank our colleagues at other Mississippi universities. We have been offered and have accepted help of additional counseling services, other counselors from other universities, and the Cleveland City School District. They, of course, have counselors as well, and the superintendent immediately contacted me and offered those services. I'm confident we have sufficient counselors. I was in the student health office yesterday, spoke to the counselors, and while they have been steady and busy, they have not been overwhelmed. But we also know that this is not just this week, that some of the students, all the students, will need support for weeks and months to come, and we're determined to keep giving them that support.
Chief, have friends of Trey's been interviewed or talked to?
Again, that's a part of the investigation, and it's ongoing.
If you tell us, you say you laid eyes, you told us you laid eyes on their man after his body was found. Is there evidence that you see something next to the tree to indicate that he put himself up in the tree?
Again, that's an ongoing investigation. I don't have that information, nor can I share it.
You don't have it? You are on the scene. Like I said, you were the scene.
Again, it's an ongoing investigation, and I can't answer this.
do we know who called in, was it a student or?
Again, that's all part of the investigation. All right, and as far as disclosing names,
We'll have one more question.
We were told that the City Bureau of Investigation would be here. Are they not here?
they are here.
Are they sleeping?
They are here. Yes, to answer your question, they are here.
We were told they would be at the news conference. And they would speak.
They are here in this room, yes.
They're not speaking?
No, not at this point. They don't have an official statement at this point.
And so we don't know how Mr. Reed could have gotten up to the tree at this time.
Again, ongoing investigation.
Exactly what happened on September the 15th of 2025. We are seeking answers from Delta State University. We're seeking answers from the coroner's office. We need answers. As of this point, the family of Trey Reed has not even received a phone call from the president of Delta State University and to tell them exactly what happened to their child that they entrusted to Delta State University. As we move forward, we're just looking for answers that a simple camera on the university's campus will answer. There are a lot of unanswered questions here, and the family just wants some answers from top officials at the university and at the coroner's office. Does anyone have any questions? Yes. Well, at this point, justice would look like transparency. Justice looks like a simple phone call from the president of the university with some personalization that this young man that we entrusted to Delta State University, that you care. Yes. I actually have Trey's uncle, his uncle who's the pastor of this church, and he will come forward and tell you a little bit about Trey.
Thank you. We bring you greetings from Living Faith Miracle Temple Church of God in Christ here in the city of Grenada. And on behalf of Trey Reed, and whom would be my nephew, that's right, and who I've been knowing for, let me get one of my mic, well, that'd be good, use these here, whom I've been knowing for a very long time. He graduated here, I believe it might have been 2 years ago, or maybe going on 3 years now. He graduated. When he graduated, he usually come here. Most every other Sunday he would be here to attend the church here. And he was one of the type of young men that he was very obedient. And when I talk to him, I always tell him, he always tell me that he had a plan for his life. And many things one thing he said he wanted to be a truck driver. He wanted to go to college, he wanted to be a truck driver, because that's what I once was for nearly 30 years. And that's what he wanted to be. And he would come here laughing, so joyful, a happy young man. And right now we are, along with the family here, the Reed family, and so right now, that's what we're looking for. And I thank the Lord for my niece, thank God for her, and all of my relatives that are here on today. So that's about all I have to say right now. I thank you so much for your support and finding out, yet bringing the truth to the light. That's what we're looking forward for. Thank you.
Anyone else have any additional questions? Yes, go right ahead. No, they have not. No, they have not. And that's one of the reasons for the urgency of this press conference, because the family is getting all of their information secondhand through the news, and we want that to stop today. It will stop today. And the officials from Delta State University, the coroner's office, you will communicate directly with this family and not through the media. And we want answers, and we're going to launch our own independent investigation to get those answers if Delta State University won't cooperate with us, if the local coroner's office won't cooperate with us, and hopefully the state coroner's office will cooperate, and so that this family just will not just, this happened yesterday, February the 15th, 2025. The media knew about Trey's death before the family did. Now, what justice, what right would you communicate with the media prior to communicating with this family as if this young man's life meant nothing? But moving forward ahead, we will seek answers independently from Delta State University and from the coroner's office, and if need be, independent from the state coroner's office, because we need answers as to what happened to Trey Reed, where there should have been cameras at the university that could easily enlighten us as to what happened in the early mornings of September the 15th of 2025. That's easy. A lot of the questions that we have, the answers should be quite easy to answer. Because if this young man was on the campus of Delta State University with all these cameras and all this modern technology, from the moment he left his dorm room or entered that campus, there should be surveillance of all of his actions. And that's what we want. Bring the surveillance, bring the cameras, so that we'll know exactly what happened to Trey Reed. This was actually his first year at the university. Actually, I think he was just at the university 1 month. A brand new student, full of life, eager to be there. So the family wants answers as to how they sent this young, fun-loving young man to Delta State University, and now we're coming with a heinous crime. And as we stand here today, the Reed family, we're not going to point fingers at anybody. We're not going to call anybody any names. All we want is answers from technology. That's all we want, and then we can go to a different narrative. But right now, we're here, the family is grieving, and we don't want to point fingers at anyone. So as soon as the cameras and the surveillance comes available, we can have a talk, but with no cameras, no official report from the state coroner's office, how do you come up with actually what was the cause of Trey Reed's death? And we won't point the finger that someone's trying to control the narrative here, because technology and cameras will answer all the questions that all of us have. Any additional questions from anyone? Okay, go right ahead. The family was not aware of the coroner's report prior to it.
It's just about just knowing what happened and knowing how to move on campus. Continue try to be out and be seen and be noticed, or if it's probably safer to stay in your room, and we just need to know how to move. Or do we need to go home?
And members of Reed's family are insisting on a thorough investigation.
Please, 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 please do your research on this. Do not let them sweep nothing else under the rug. Enough is enough right now. 1, that is my cousin. 2, this is the second incident that has occurred within the last 5 years at this campus. Delta State University has had a run-in with me and their policemen. They tried to lock me up for no reason, and it didn't succeed in their favor.
They got off the phone with one of his cousins. Had to break it down to her what the fuck happened, because she don't know what the fuck happened. So I had to tell her what happened. Right? She also talked about you, cousin. Nigga, y'all not related. His grandma don't know you. His mama don't know you. She don't even know you, cousin. Oh, and let me tell you what your cousin said too. Not only that you using my nigga name for likes and views and fucking clout and shit. Nigga, you started a GoFundMe? A GoFundMe, nigga? Where that money going? Cousin? It better be going to your grandma, cousin. It better be going to your auntie, cousin. Where the fuck that money going, boy? Huh? I ain't gonna lie, fool.
Thanks you all for coming out. We see here we have gathered family, friends, classmates, even those that love the immediate family. So thank you all again for coming out. Please continue to keep everyone in your prayers. Everyone loves Trey, and we want to thank you all for coming out here tonight, showing solidarity. It's a trying time for everyone, but again, we have succeeded. God is going to continue to keep us and carry us as we go through this season, and I will pass it off to Shauna at this time. Good evening, everyone. Praise the Lord, everybody. Praise the Lord again. Thank you. As we said, we just ask you to continue to keep the Reed Tillman family in your prayers as we navigate this new life without Trey. As she said, thank you guys again for coming to be with us today as we stand united as we work through this together. I'm going to leave it with Alexis. Any instructions for us as we leave today? Okay, Mayor Latham would like to leave.
I want to thank everybody on behalf of the city of Grenada. I am the mayor of Grenada, I'm Charles Latham. I see that we have Councilman Lewis Johnson and Councilman Mike Smith over there. I don't know if any other city councilman or our city manager or any other county folks, but this is just to let y'all know, the Reed family, that the entire city of Grenada, the entire county of Grenada, this nation, in fact, this nation has reached out. We had a lady, man, from Boston, Massachusetts, to reach out, and I hit over to Alexis. She's donated the balloons and the water. She wanted, if you anything y'all want, just let us know. We're going to try to help y'all as much as the Lord would allow us to do it. I just want to acknowledge the other councilman that were here. All right, someone else. Oh, so we got to release the balloons. They just reminded us. Who's going to release the balloons? Y'all ready to do that now? All right, let's just, we got the leadership team here from the Grenada Leadership, Givens Leadership Institute. They volunteered to handle all that. They went in, they actually blew up the balloons. They coordinated with the lady from Massachusetts to get the balloons and the water, and they did a lot. So when they saw you was in need, then everybody, I'm telling you, want to step up and help us out here.
At the school, so we did our own candlelight. And I just want to sing this song for Trey while we out here doing this candlelight. So y'all just listen. Take me to the King. I don't have much to bring. My heart is torn in pieces. It's my offering. Take me to the King. Truth is I'm tired. Options of you. I'm trying to pray, but where are you? I'm all churched out, hurt and abused. I can't fake what's left to do. Truth is I'm weak, no strength to fight, no tears to cry, even if I try. But still my soul refuses to die. One touch will change my life. Take me to the King. I don't have much to bring. My heart is torn in pieces. It's my offering. Lay me at the throne. Leave me there alone to gaze upon your glory and sing to you this song.